It is now time for our feature presentation. Spoiler warnings. Let's finish off the trilogy with a 2024 Maxxxine.
So, Maxxxine. Your agent tells us you're quite a popular name in adult film and entertainment. Is that correct? I'm curious, did you always want to be in that line of work?
I always wanted to be famous.
If you need to read off the sides we gave you, just go ahead, all right?
I know the lines.
She turns to the camera and, through her trauma, addresses the lens directly.
Name 5 celebrities who got their start in horror movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, and
Maxxxine fucking Minx.
I don't like working out here with that frickin' Night Stalker guy in the loose.
The Night Stalker.
Night Stalker?
Night Stalker.
He's terrorizing Los Angeles.
I can handle myself.
So said every bad girl in Hollywood.
Maxxxine, I'm the private detective. I had to find you. My employer is a very powerful man. The past ain't finished with you. It's gonna keep knocking at your door.
Tragically, another victim of the Night Stalker.
I knew 3 people who were murdered in 3 days. I'd be pretty scared. What are you hiding, Maxxxine?
If I tell you something, we've got confidentiality.
What'd you do?
This is the defining role of your career. Whatever's going on in your life that's interfering with this picture, squash it.
I intend to.
Maxxxine.
Maxxxine.
You're a fucking movie star.
Okay, this one feels the most different out of the trilogy. Like, this one feels like a whole, well, obviously it's the first one taking place off the farm, so there's that. And then you kind of got this whole 1985?
1980s.
Yeah, 1985 to it, and it's set in, like, California, right? Mm-hmm. And,
Big Hollywood sign at the end.
Yeah, big Hollywood sign, yeah. This one, I think is like I said in the Pearl review, I would honestly watch Pearl X then Maxxxine, because X and Pearl kind of connect, or X and Maxxxine connect a lot better. Pearl's just like an additional thing, and I'll do that before. That's how I would watch it if I want to watch it again. This one is about Maxxxine, and she's still doing adult movies, and she's still trying to break it into Hollywood. She's a very popular adult film star, but she's kind of like wanting to move over, and she finally gets a movie gig, a horror movie, and things are starting to work out. However, when she gets the gig, her past is starting to come back. You got some people who apparently know she was there for the events of the first film, the X Murders, which they're calling the they called it, the porn saw chainsaw massacre. They had a whole name for the murders, and somebody knows she was there, and like some people are trying to blackmail her about this, and she's kind of getting annoyed because it's like I finally got my big break, and they got these guys chasing me, and she meets this detective that's following her, who's played by Kevin Bacon, and he really looks like the shady 80s type.
Yeah, he's definitely sleazy private detective guy.
Yeah,
dirty detective guy.
Yeah, this one has some cool celebrities in it. It has the guy who plays Gus, Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, he plays her manager. You got the guy from what's that show? Steve Buscemi show where he's Boardwalk Empire. This guy who was on that show, he played one of the male detective that's kind of like hunting him down. Who else was in this movie? There's a bunch of notable faces in this film that was really cool.
There's some of the people playing the porn actresses are like musicians in real life and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the director of the film, you might remember her from Guardians of the Galaxy, as well. She played like the British director, female director.
Yeah. What was she in Guardians of the Galaxy?
She was like one of those goat people, wasn't she?
Okay.
That anyway.
Sovereign.
So after all this is affecting her, and then there's also, you got the Night Stalker on the loose, who they keep showing videos of, and then you got this new killer who they think is a copycat killer, but all the people that is getting killed are friends or people, acquaintances of Maxxine, and now the cops are kind of looking into her as well. And then she's like, "Hey, just leave me alone. I'm trying to focus on my career. Don't fuck with this." And finally it starts affecting her job, and the director's like, "Look, I'm going to give you a weekend." She goes, "I don't know what's going on, but you need to fix this shit." And so Maxxine goes out of her way to make sure everything gets handled in this one weekend. And one of my favorite scenes in the whole film, Dwayne, is like she knows Kevin Bacon's following her, and she just gets out of her car, she put the keys through her fingers, and just beats the fuck out of Kevin Bacon in his car. Holy shit, was that not cool?
It was.
It's like probably my first scene in the whole film. And Maxxine actually does some detective work and is able to kind of like deduce where the killer is killing people. One of her friends says she got invited to this party close to the Hollywood sign, and then her friend ends up dead next day. And then one of her co-workers mentions that she also got invited in the same area, and she invited Maxxine to go, and Maxine's like, nah. But Maxxine ends up going because she thinks, like, I bet that's where the killer is. And she goes there, and she meets the killer, who turns out to be her father. Because if you watch X, you see this preacher on the TV doing some sermons. And at the very end of X, you find out that that guy was her father. And because at first you're like, okay, well, how's this guy going to tie into the movie to X? And then at the very end, you find out that's her father. And finally, it kind of pays off here. He comes out, and then they have this whole epic thing. He's got this weird cult, and they're fighting, and the cops come as her backup. And this scene I didn't like that much, Dwayne, is because how dark it was, and you had trouble seeing. And in my head, I'm like, you're right. If this movie was written, so write it to where there's going to be fucking lights, where I can see what's happening. Because you got the one girl cop comes, and she's got something in her eye, and she goes, I'm fine, and she kind of just dies. But I'm like, I can't really see what's happening. It really upset me, and I was like, write the fucking scene in some, like, a lit up place. It's not reality TV, it's not real. So you can have an excuse to go somewhere that's real and have some fucking lights. It doesn't make any sense. Alright, besides that, it was kind of a cool finale. And she kills her dad, and then she goes on to make the movie, and all the press from all the murders actually pumps up the movie, and it becomes a huge success, and then she becomes a star. A lot of murder, but she got her wish. Dwayne, your thoughts?
Well, you pretty much told the whole story.
Okay. Well, goodbye, guys.
So, the only thing I'm going to jump in on is, like Sean said, when Maxxine confronts the killer, who turns out to be her father, who's a preacher, and he has a whole group of, he talks about the people that are with him are people whose family members disappeared
from the Night Stalker.
Well, they just disappeared in Hollywood. Okay. They wanted to go out and be famous there, and then they disappeared, so the families come looking for them, and they couldn't find them. Either they got into porn, or got into drugs, or died, or something like that. But when the police show up to help Maxxine, they're like, hey, we're here to help. And then you hear like a bunch of gunfire and things going on. And then the male officer comes around the corner, and he's like bleeding out. And he's like, oh yeah, I wanted to be a star one day, and he dies. And then the female officer, she goes, I got him. And then she comes out and she's got something, like you said, in her eye. To me, it looked like it was a crucifix. Like somebody stabbed a crucifix in her damn eye.
I thought it was a sheriff badge.
She goes, I got him. And then she just sits there and starts breathing, and then she dies. I'm like, well, why'd he even show up? You're going to get killed like that. Like Sean said, they should have just shot them both on screen or something. Instead of having them die off, getting hurt off screen and just show up for like 5 seconds to die.
Yeah.
This movie where X is more horror, Pearl is more of a character study on Pearl. This is more giallo type. This is more like, hey, there's a killer out there. You see the hands, you see the guy wearing gloves, you see the knives or whatever things he's using to kill people. It's like a murder mystery more than it is a different one. It's like a detective murder mystery, which is more like kind of like a giallo type thing. Mm-hmm. And that's more like this kind of setting for this movie is more giallo type, where it's like a 80s slasher, not like a monster horror slasher, but like a just like a straight up killer with doing stuff. And it's really good. There's some really good 80s music in there in the background and stuff. And I actually enjoyed Maxxxine. I'll say I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed X or Pearl. It's probably the weakest of the three, but it's still a really good movie, in my opinion.
I also love, my favorite part of the movie really was the dynamic between Maxxine and Kevin Bacon. And like there's a scene where he actually shows up at her job. They don't say what, I don't know if they ever say what the name of the studio is, but I'm assuming it's supposed to be Universal because they have a Bates Motel there.
Yeah.
So, and then he's chasing up her to Bates Motel, and then a security guard kind of catches him and throws him out. And then, like, whenever the lady tells her she needs to handle her shit, she lays a trap for Kevin Bacon's detective character, and he wakes up in his car, and her manager, and his, like, bodyguard are there, and they have him in his car. They put this, like, compactor thing on him and crush Kevin Bacon to death. It's just a little, I agree with you. It is more detective-y than the other two, and not super horror. There's a scene where she stomps on a dude's nutsack and crushes it. That was pretty brutal. But besides that, that's really the only horror scene. Maybe a couple like where kills here and there, but that's really the only
one guy that runs the video store. His kill was pretty vicious too.
Yeah.
One of her friends gets killed. It's pretty gory.
Mm-hmm. And that's really it. It's just sprinkled in there. But I really enjoyed it overall. And I do feel like the trilogy each one was about even. I don't know. I dig Maxxxine too. So I can't tell if Maxxine's my favorite or X, but they're pretty close. Mm-hmm. Dwayne, what's your final thoughts on this film here?
My thoughts are, like, I really did enjoy the trilogy. Mm-hmm. This is a good ending. It actually shows like an ending. It's not like let's do a whole franchise now and stuff. Maxxine's still alive at the end of it and everything, but it shows her from X where she wanted to be a star. She kept saying, I'm going to be a star, I'm going to be a star. Then she goes to porn. She's still not a star yet, but she's getting her foot in the door on mainstream Hollywood, and she's going to be in a horror movie called The Puritan 2. And the director, like you said, she's tough. She's like, hey, I'm a famous director. I'm taking a chance on you. If you can't get your shit together, I'm not wasting my time. I'll cast her. There's another girl right outside this door that wants this part. Yeah. Who probably doesn't have all this baggage that you have that's causing you to die down and stuff. So she's like, we'll take you if you can get your stuff taken care of. That's what she says, handle your shit. Mm-hmm. But like you said, they show some background, some backdrops on some movies. You see the Psycho Hotel and stuff. Yeah. And you get the Hollywood signs. It's a lot of Hollywood stuff in there. I do enjoy it, and I like it. I enjoyed it. Had a good time watching it, and I'm going to give it a good 8 out of 10.
All right. Yes, indeedy. Here are my pros and cons for Maxxxine. My pros: a cool, unique cast, some cool folks in it, some good kills, not as many as I would have liked, but cool kills. A very happy ending. I love how this movie ended. Perfect ending. Really tied her character up perfectly. My cons! I felt like the end battle was super dark. And again, this thing's written, so they could have wrote it into a place, you know, it's endless when it comes to writing. Anything's possible. So they could have wrote it somewhere where, you know, there's fucking lights. Like, hey, let's have the ending be at a baseball field that's well lit, so I can see what's fucking happening. Alright, guys. I'm giving Maxxine 8 X's, because there's like 3 in the title, out of 10.